What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Fish Gaming community. Today we're going to be showing you all exactly how I got 6 G1s in Hunter Call of the Wild in less than 2 months. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video so you can learn all the tips and tricks that I used and that you can also use to help you get G1s in this game. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is the actual G1 grind itself. What is it? What are you actually doing? So there are several different species of animals that have G1 variants on the game. Everybody knows what they are. So an actual G1 grind itself is just going, finding those animals, and killing them repetitively until a G1 variant spawns. G1 spawns are completely random. There are people who get their G1s to spawn 50 kills into a grind, and there's people who get them spawn 3,000-4,000 kills into a grind. There is nothing that you can actually do to force a G1 to spawn except for doing a grind and repetitively killing the same species of a G1 animal over and over and over. The second thing that we're going to talk about is herd management. There's a lot of videos out there about herd management that are just way too complicated. Most people don't understand them, so I'm just going to break it down into 3 simple steps for you. Step number 1 of herd managing an animal with a G1 variant is to find all of its water zones. That is extremely important. So for like this right here, I just got done with the fallow grind. So fallow have anywhere between 30 to 40 water zones. So before I started killing anything for my fallow, I went around and found all of my water zones. You can see them on the map there. All of my fallow zones have been located. And the reason you have to find all of your water zones is because if you don't have a water zone discovered, anything can spawn there. So once you discover a water zone, like if you scan the tracks on the ground, it'll tell you how many animals are in that zone. If you don't discover it, that number can change infinitely. Anything can respawn there. So if you find 2 or 3 zones and you kill 10 deer out of them, those 10 animals could respawn in any of the other water zones. That's why this is the first step and honestly the most important step to a G1 grind in my opinion. This is the same for any kind of species that you're trying to get a G1 on, or even diamonds. If you're just doing a diamond grind, you can herd manage any kind of species. You have to find all of your water zones first. Step number 2 to herd managing is that every species of animals has like a middle level and up. You need to kill all of your middle levels and up for whatever species you're grinding to kind of trick the game into respawning bigger levels. So for whitetails, you're killing level 2s and up. For fallow, you're killing level 3s and up. For anything that goes all the way up to level 9, you're going to kill 5s and up. So like red deer, you're going to kill level 5s and up. And what that does is, in the coding of the game, there are X amount of big animals on the map, so higher leveling animals, and when you take one out, it opens up a respawn spot that the game says we need to respawn a big animal because a big animal is missing. So when you kill a medium level and up, the game's like, oh no, it's gone, and then it has to respawn it in that spot, and it's just random chance. So like killing a diamond's like right now I've got 2 level 5s right in front of me for fallow deer. If I kill this level 5 right here, where there he is. There he is. If I kill this level 5, there's no guarantee that he's going to respawn as a level 5, but I've killed 100 level 3s and 4s in this spot until eventually the game respawned to level 5. The same thing over here. I've got another level 5 here. Now guys, what's important to remember about herd management in a G1 grind is that the herd managing does not make the G1 spawn. Doing step number 2 and killing all of your medium levels and up, all it does is help trick the game into spawning bigger animals and diamonds. That way you don't get bored and you get trophies while you're along the way. Again, herd management does not force the G1 to spawn. Now the third and final step to herd management is going to be the most painful one. You have to keep doing step 2 over and over and over. Even when you start getting aggravated with it, even when you start getting bored with it, you have to keep going because like I said, G1 spawns are completely random, and the only way to get a G1 to spawn is to keep killing stuff. So the more stuff you kill, the better. Herd managing makes you really efficient with killing a certain species of animal repetitively and getting your numbers up super quick, and it also helps you get diamonds and stuff. So you just have to keep going. When it starts getting hard and you want to pull all your hair out, you're getting really aggravated and down, you just got to keep going. So that's the easiest way to explain herd managing. It really is that simple. A lot of people overcomplicate it way too much. So just remember, step number 1 for any species is to find all of your water zones. Step number 2 is to kill your medium levels and up. And step number 3 is to just keep going, keep doing your rotations, keep killing stuff. When it starts getting hard, man, just keep your head up. You're gonna get there, I promise. Now I've got to the part of the video where I'm going to show you some extra tips and tricks that I have figured out after getting 6 G1s that have helped my herds spawn better things, and things that I've done that I think have actually helped make the G1 spawn a little bit quicker. All right, now this one's gonna grind a lot of gears. So one of the things that I've done that I think has actually helped my G1 spawn, we've tested it on 5 of my 6 G1s, and I'm absolutely convinced that it works, is that sometimes it is absolutely okay to kill females. All right, so that zone that I was just talking about killing the females on, I shot them on accident and the camera was not recording. So we're gonna try again. Like I said, shooting females, I 100% promise you, does not affect your grind at all. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6 deer here that we're not supposed to shoot because of herd management, but I want this zone to be just a little bit better. So we're just gonna kill 2 or 3 of these that are females and probably that level 2 and just see what respawns. We'll take 2. All right, so we're just gonna pick these guys up after about 15 minutes. Whenever our respawns come through, this will probably respawn as a couple of decent males. Again, from my experience, what I've learned over 5 of my last 6 grinds, we've been doing this for 5 of our 6 grinds on our not as good zones. We've been shooting a couple of females, some of the small ones, just to see what respawns. All right, another super helpful tip for you all. I know everybody's heard about stacking diamonds and it makes the G1 spawn faster or whatever. That is 100% not accurate, I promise. I've stacked no diamonds and gotten G1s. I have stacked 10 plus diamonds and still gotten G1s in the same amount of time, longer, shorter. It has no effect on it at all, I promise. But what nobody really talks about stacking diamonds is when you start stacking diamonds, your game is realizing that there's a bunch of big animals on your map. So when you kill something, it's more likely to respawn as a lower level, something that you really shouldn't be shooting for herd management. So I'm using fallow as an example because I just got done doing a fallow grind and I got 2 G1 fallow deer. A lot of the fallow zones are super hard to set up on and hunt. Like these zones over here are they're almost impossible to hunt because you can't shoot them from across the river anywhere. And this is all like really steep banks here. So like I have a tent here and I have to fast travel to it and sneak up on this hill and hunt them. So they're not very easy to hunt. There's not an efficient way to hunt them. So I have 2 diamonds right here. I've got 2 diamonds up here and a diamond here. And what has happened is as I've shot these zones, instead of it respawning stuff I'm supposed to be shooting, it has respawned level 2s and below. So I don't really hardly ever check these zones anymore. Honestly, I can pull this tent and quit wasting it being in that spot. So you hear people talking about interior and exterior zones. That's what they're talking about. So this zone right here is a main zone for me. These 2 are definitely main zones for me. This is where I got one of my first G1 fallow. This zone right here, everybody knows that the double eggs for fallow is definitely one of your main zones. So you want to, when you spawn diamonds there, you definitely want to leave them for a couple of rotations and start killing stuff off of your harder to shoot zones. That way they respawn smaller and you don't have to check them as often. But with that, what I have noticed is that whenever you have any kind of hunting pressure at all, so like you can see the pressure I've got in these little areas, that can make the males jump to a different zone. So it is important every 4 or 5 rotations to make sure you go and check these little exterior zones that you don't like hunting. Like these 2 right here, I probably check these 2 zones once every 6 to 10 rotations. Nothing ever, I think maybe once in all of that has there been something there that I'm supposed to shoot that jumped from another zone. Same thing with right here. Anyways, one last super important tip that I'm going to talk to you all about, I'm going to show you with red deer because they're the most relevant species that I have done this method with, is dead zoning water zones. Dead zones are bad. You normally don't want to dead zone any kind of your zones because then the animals will move, but you can also use that to your advantage. So for red deer, anybody who's done a red deer grind that knows that a lot of your lakes like this, that's hard to hunt all of those zones. It's going to take way too many tents, way too many stands stuff to set up on that zone to hunt all 5 of these zones effectively. And even up here, I've already done this like 4 times on this lake, and I'm going to do it again. So these lakes are huge. There's usually, like this zone normally has 8 water zones. This lake normally has 8 water zones for red deer on it, and it's just impossible to hunt all of them. So what you can do is you can dead zone water zones and make the animals move where you want them to. So whenever you dead zone a specific water zone, the animals will move to the nearest water zone to them. So for example, we've got 2 pretty already big zones here because I've been doing this a lot, and we got a big zone here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dead zone this zone over, we might do this one. We'll do that one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dead zone this zone right here and make it move to this zone. So we only have to hunt one zone here instead of two. And it's super simple. All you're gonna do is don't use a stand or a tripod because you want the pressure to get high, and you're just gonna kill a couple of the females until you get it to a dead zone pressure. Alright, so we killed 4 females across that lake on that zone there. Now, unfortunately, what we've done is we have dead zoned both of these zones, so they have been deleted. But the good news is that they are going to move down to this water zone right here, or they're going to move over here. Either way, all of those deer are going to be on one spot. So all you have to do is you main menu. Come on, you could do it, load. You're going to load back into the exact same game. You're going to want to scoot your time forward 2, 3, 4 minutes. I always do like 3 or 4 just to make sure. I've done 1 minute. That usually doesn't work for me. Oh, here we go. So one of that zone that was up there has moved down to here. Yep, new drink zone. And all that does is it makes it a little bit, it's like all of these are closer together now, so we can just hunt all of these from one spot. So sometimes dead zoning stuff can be useful. You can use it to your advantage. We're going to look, though, and see if the zone at the end has moved to the left, which would be kind of unfortunate. They have. So, again, I mean, you could just do this over and over and over. It was kind of unfortunate that we dead zoned that one, too, but it doesn't look like all of them moved. It looks like the majority of the animals have moved over here. And you can do this with any species. Whitetail's a really good one to do it with, too, because you have lakes like this where you have a bunch of zones, and you can push them all together so you can just hunt them from one spot. Alright guys, that's it. That's all of the tips and tricks that I have done to get 6 G1s in less than 2 months. 54 days to be exact, and a little over 6,000 kills. I hope all of this information helps you all on your own game. We love you all, and we'll see you in the next one.